There it is. There's Mr. Darcy's wet shirt. And they've got one of the Lizzie dresses. I have never seen one of the Lizzie dresses before on display, so that's exciting. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Blue Lady Couture, and welcome to another adventure vlog. Now, if you might recognise the building behind me, that is because I have been here before and it wasn't actually that long ago. This is the Bankfield Museum near Halifax in the UK, and I was here just a few months ago for a very special costume study day, and if you haven't seen that video, do check it out on my channel. But I came here to see Mr. Darcy's wet shirt, along with some other items that were worn by Mr. Darcy in the 1995 Pride and Prejudice, and the very beautiful Emma 2020 costumes worn by Anya Taylor-Joy. So the Bankfield Museum bought those costumes at auction earlier in 2024. Then in November last year they held the special costume study day, but now I am back because those costumes are finally out on display to the public, and they form part of Bankfield's brand new exhibition for 2025, which is called Costume Drama. Most of the costumes that are going to be on display in this exhibition are from well-known TV costume dramas and period films. I have come along to take you on a little look around to see what other costumes they have on display, because I think it's got potential to be pretty good. If you're a fan of costume dramas, I think you are going to want to see this. So keep watching and let's see how many fabulous costumes from fabulous TV and film adaptations that we come across. I know I've been here before, but this entranceway is just stunning. You know, this is up there with some of the London museums. It's just beautiful. Oh, and it's a lot warmer than it is outside because it is a very cold February day today. So these are costumes from the Borgias. I apologise, the light is reflecting really badly, but these gowns, these costumes are an absolutely exquisite deep blood red. Now I have to be honest and say, the Borgias is actually a TV series that I haven't yet to catch up on. That's a very promising start, isn't it? We have some more movie, TV posters here as well. Now, I'm not surprised that there's going to be Gentleman Jack costumes on display here, because Bankfield Museum here is just located a few miles up the road from Shibden Hall, which was the home of Anne Lister, and a lot of the TV series was filmed in this area. And after filming was completed, a lot of the costumes actually came here to be stored. Yeah, so the museum here actually has a huge collection of the Anne Lister costumes that were used in that TV production. And I think that kind of started the snowball rolling with them acquiring the Mr. Darcy wet shirt and the Emma costume. And then of course now they're putting on this whole exhibition focusing on costume dramas. So yeah, I think the museum here is really championing the work behind the scenes, that goes into creating costume drama. As a costumier myself, I know how much work and effort goes into the research, the designing, then the creating of the costumes, and obviously bringing them to life on the screen, big or small, or even just on a more local scale, events or amateur dramatics or something like that. Costume designers need a lot more recognition than they get. Oh my goodness, so where should we start? A little sneak peek through the door here of what we've got in here. Oh, look, there it is. There's Mr. Darcy's wet shirt. And they've got one of the Lizzie dresses. I have never seen one of the Lizzie dresses before on display, so that's exciting. But we shall go in the first room over here. Where we have a fabulous, huge picture of Jennifer L. and Colin Firth as Lizzie and Darcy in 1995, and of course the iconic wet shirt scene that catapulted them both and that TV series to iconic status. Oh, and these are Bridgerton costumes. So we have Phoebe Dynevor's very beautiful lavender coloured gown, and then her mother, Lady Bridgerton, played by Ruth Gemmell. Sorry, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. And then we have Jonathan Bailey's rather dashing suit here. Although it's interesting to see, it looks like there's a repair been done on the trousers. So the purpose of the display in this room is to look beyond the costume drama and the legacy created by the iconic wet shirt scene. I was 10 years old when Pride and Prejudice came out, so it's one of my first, not the first, but it's certainly one of the first kind of big productions that I can really remember and really grab my attention. And I can certainly remember Darcy Mania sweeping the country. The 1995 Pride and Prejudice kind of set the benchmark. And then here on the wall, there is various other wet shirt scenes that have been seen on the big and small screen since then, and we can vote for which one we want. And obviously poor Colin Firth as Mr. Darcy has actually had to recreate this scene multiple times in Love Actually and in St. Trinian's. We have Sam Riley as Mr. Darcy in Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. He was also doing a bit of a wet shirt scene. And we've also got various Bridget Jones movies, Lost in Austen, and Jonathan Bailey in Bridgerton. So who should we vote for? Who would you vote for? Let me know in the comments down below. What is your ultimate wet shirt scene in a costume drama? It has to be Mr. Darcy. This is an original 1740s gown and a matching quilted petticoat. Sadly, it looks like the stomacher has been lost over time. I don't think it would have originally been as plain as this, and the fabric looks a slightly different quality to other parts of the gown. But yeah, an original 1750s gown. How stunning is that? Purple gown has been worn by several members of the acting community, including Gugu Mbatha-Raw in Dido Bell, Jessica Brown Finley as Charlotte in Harlots, a background character in Disney's live-action Beauty and the Beast, a Barclays advert with Helena Bonham Carter, and the 2023 Tom Jones TV series. still can't get over how beautiful this pelisse is. I'm obsessed. And I'm even more obsessed that now they have Mr. Knightley's outfit as well, played by Johnny Flynn. I mean, can we just? Oh, that pleating detail, it's just beautiful. Over here we have Mr. Darcy's infamous wet shirt and the beautiful Lizzie costume. I am so excited to see this. I didn't know they were having this one. Oh, it's so pretty. Lady Sybil's beautiful blue gown from season 1 of Downton Abbey, and it's surrounded by original gowns held in the Calderdale Museum's collection, dating from the early 1900s through to the 1920s. It's a nice little snapshot of how fashion's changed in that 20-year period. Look at these beautiful heels inlaid with diamantes. You imagine how they would have sparkled and caught the light on a dance floor. And because that's the thing, by the time we get to the 1920s and hemlines have come up, suddenly you're able to, you're seeing shoes properly for the first time. Throughout the 19th century, shoes were pretty much, covered by your skirts, by your gowns. You didn't really see a lot of them. And yeah, then suddenly in the 1920s, as the hemlines come up and all these fancy dancers start to come in, yeah, you imagine whizzing around the dance floor on those. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, they've got some of the Bronte dresses from little mini TV. It's kind of a docudrama. To Walk Invisible, it was called. And yeah, I just suddenly remembered it. It was one of those kind of ones that I tucked away in the back of my mind. But yeah, it was amazing, and I remember bawling our eyes out at it because obviously the story of the Bronte sisters is so sad, so incredibly sad. Oh, these are beautiful. Look at the detail on that. Oh, look at that smocking. This green fabric is lovely, and I'm not normally one for green fabric, but that is really pretty. And as I said at the beginning when I walked in, the Bankfield Museum here has an extensive collection of the Gentleman Jack costumes that we use on the TV series. So I have just come out of the costume drama exhibition here at Bankfield Museum, and wow, wasn't that fabulous? They have got some lovely costumes on display in there, a good mix of both TV, film, screen use costumes, which of course we all know, love, are familiar with, and blended with some historical extant pieces as well, because I always think that's really nice to be able to see obviously modern made costumes alongside actual historical costumes, and I think we all know that inevitably, you know, modern costume dramas do have to take a few liberties, whether it's purely down to historical fabrics or trimmings or something, you know, obviously not being available or not financially viable, or whether the costume producer, director, and kind of the vision of the film or TV series is for something, you know, a little bit different that's not strictly historical accurate, or of course is trying to tell a story to the viewers about the character and what's going on in their lives, in their world. I'm not one of these people that is a stitch picky stickler. I completely understand the reasoning behind why decisions are made in movies and TV series about costume choices, and for the most part I am okay with that, you know, as long as the story makes sense, the timelines make sense. I think that for me is key when in historical costume dramas, if things like the timelines get kind of blurred or muddled up, and for me that often takes me out of what I'm seeing on the TV if something is glaringly obviously not generally right for that period. But anyway, I digress. Back to the exhibition. Yeah, they had some fabulous pieces in there, ranging from some iconic costume history moments, certainly in British TV, with the 1970s Elizabeth R gown, right through the 90s revivals of Pride and Prejudice and other Jane Austen classics, which really cemented the costume drama, I think, in our ideologies and, you know, popular culture. I mean, I don't know what it is about costume dramas that we all love so much, but we do, and we keep lapping them up, you know, years, decades later. I mean, I guess it's like reading your favourite book, and sometimes you can just never tire of hearing the same stories retold, and of course discovering new stories, and if it takes us off to somewhere that is not the current outside world, you know, I think that's why we love costume dramas so much. Yes, that little bit of escapism, and I know history doesn't always have, you know, the rose-tinted view that we see on screen, and that real history is not all it's cracked up to be, and I do think it's just important to be aware of that when enjoying costume dramas, historical eras, things like that. But equally, so many of these costume dramas depict the struggles of women, minorities, and that's why I think it's important that we don't ever forget about that and we don't ever stop telling those stories. If you want to come and see the costume drama exhibition here at the Bankfield Museum, it is on until the 20th of December 2025, so you've got loads of time to come and see it this year. And the biggest bonus of all is it is a completely free exhibition, so you don't have to pay anything. Of course, if you want to donate something to the museum, I'm sure they would be very grateful for your support. But equally, I think just having feet through the door at this isn't a big museum, this is essentially a local county museum, and I think they're doing a wonderful job. So if you do get a chance to travel around the UK this summer, if you're coming from abroad and you're visiting the UK, definitely come to Yorkshire. We are not far from Bronte country here. You've got the Anne Lister history here, and of course a lot of Industrial Revolution history and heritage as well. A really fascinating part of the UK. So yes, I do highly recommend get Bankfield Museum on your list of places to visit for 2025. If you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up by clicking the little thumbs up icon down below. And if you want to leave me a comment, that really helps my channel out and will encourage YouTube to push it out to more people. If you'd like to be notified when my next video goes out, you can subscribe here on YouTube, or if you want to go one step further, you can subscribe to my website. I have 3 tiers to choose from, one of which is completely free, and the other 2 tiers are £2 and £10 a month respectively. They will get you not only my newsletter updates, but also discounts on my Blue Lady Couture web stores on Etsy and my website, and you will also get a thank you in the credits of my video. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! I'm not one of these people that is a stitch picky stickler. That's, oh my god, I can't stitch a stitch picky stickler. A stitch pity stickler.